Well, welcome back to Smart Family. Did you ever find yourself forgetting the simplest things? Well, one Valley man lost his short and long-term memory after a horrible accident. His story shows how memory can be treated.
I was going to a friend of mine's house to pick him up and was driving over there when the accident occurred.
Tony Scallon says he woke up in the hospital and thought it was all a dream.
It was about 2.5 weeks later, and I was told I was in a car accident and that I broke my neck.
Doctors say Tony broke his C2 vertebrae. You may remember it's the same injury as Christopher Reeve. Although Tony was not paralyzed, he was far from out of the woods.
I landed on my head and broke my neck, and that's how I get the traumatic brain injury.
A brain injury that affected his short-term and long-term memory.
I was really unaware of what it did to me.
After more than 3 months of therapy, Tony says his memory is just about back to normal.
They would give me exercises where they'd tell me stuff and have me repeat it back, and I had a hard time with that at first.
And as traumatizing as the whole ordeal has been, Tony says he is fortunate.
You know, I'm lucky that I was injured like I was and had such minimal long-lasting damage. It was traumatizing, but I think it brought us all closer together in the long run.
Well, joining us now is Daphne Phillips, a speech-language pathologist that helped Tony get his memory back. Well, Daphne, thanks for joining us on Smart Family.
Thank you.
So this is an amazing story.
Yes.
An absolutely amazing story. So let's talk about memory loss. What can cause memory loss?
Well, there are a couple of things there's several things that can cause memory loss. Changes to the brain as well as damage to the brain. So, for instance, stroke, or in Tony's case, traumatic brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
There's also progressive neurological disorders that can cause memory loss, such as Parkinson's disease and the dementias, and then the natural process of aging.
Okay, and that was going to be my next question. So getting older, does that often equal memory loss? I mean, can we guarantee that that may happen to us as we age?
There's no guarantees. It's not inevitable as we age that we're going to suffer memory loss.
Okay.
However, there are changes that occur in the brain that can cause us to perhaps be a little absent-minded at times, or require more time to pull information into the forefront of our memory.
Right, like what happens right now these days sometimes, where you're like, oh, I was just going to say this, but...
Right, or it's right on the tip of your tongue, and then you lose it.
Right, exactly.
And that's considered just a normal process in aging.
Okay. Well, when it comes to treating memory loss, how can we treat memory loss?
Well, there are medical treatments, and that would be through your physician. If you go see your physician, they can prescribe medications that serve to stimulate the brain cells and help them to communicate more efficiently and faster to improve memory. And then there are non-medical treatments, and that's what I specialize in.
So techniques?
Yeah.
Okay.
Various techniques that we can use to help assist with memory loss.
Okay, well, I hear that the more you exercise your brain, it's almost like your body.
Exactly.
We need to exercise our body and our brains. So give me some techniques that we could all use to help keep our memory intact, or to help with that.
Absolutely. Use of a day planner often helps.
So like writing things down?
Writing things down.
Okay.
And it can be in a day planner. It can be use of a calendar. It can be just making lists, using Post-it notes.
Now, should we be writing it? Can we do it on our smartphones, or?
You can use the smartphones.
But there's something about writing it down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. My preference, and usually what I tell my patients, is that they're going to get a little bit more out of it in terms of the encoding if they're physically writing.
Okay. What's another technique?
Use of the smartphone can be an option for those that are stimulable for that. Also, the technique of association, establishing a relationship between the things that you'd like to remember.
Right, exactly. And
repetition.
Repetition, okay. And then one thing you're saying about names, when you meet someone, you repeat the name.
Yes, repeat their name.
Well, I can remember your name, because your name is the same name as mine.
Right, perfect association.
Okay, and perfect association, that's two there. And then also you say make a rhyme?
Yes, it's called a mnemonic. And you can make up a rhyme or take the first letter of each item you'd like to remember and make a word out of that.
Okay. And then what about making a mental picture?
Visual imagery is another strategy that we recommend.
Well, some good stuff there. So I'll remember that we need to exercise our brains all the time.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us, Daphne.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We've linked all the memory strategies on our website, on our Smart Family website. Just go to abc15.com and you'll find us under the lifestyle section of the page. Well, a lot of you are sounding off on our Smart Family 15 Facebook page about how you keep your memory sharp. Well, Cassie says she knows her mom reads books and Sudoku puzzles to keep her brain working. Stephanie says she has tried taking ginkgo biloba, gosh, that's a hard word to say, but she kept forgetting to take it. I love that one. Okay. Well, Lori says staying active, and Lori May says, sorry, what's the question? I love it. Those are funny responses there. Well, thanks for joining in on the conversation. You know you can always comment at facebook.com/smartfamily15.